Good afternoon. I thought I'd hold this painting up because this painting is on every hard copy of every transmission that we do, and the YouTube people never get to see it. So this is one of my paintings, and it's called Journey. See if we can see this. Okay. By the way, a lot of my paintings are on my Facebook site if anybody would like to go there. This transmission is from January 12th, 2012, and it started right off with the Olympics. And as usual, I was asking they during meditation, is there any special message that you would have me know? Is there any one thing they have been bringing up these last few days, and it has to do with the Olympics? They really aren't giving me a whole lot more than that, other than I see the side of a mountain. That's all I've got in this so far. I'm not even sure when the Olympics are. I think they're coming up pretty soon. But there's something coming up about the Olympics. Today's lecture from they seems to be on the duality of self. We seem to be going up, 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 up this morning. That makes me wonder if we're going back into the classroom again. And we are going up, up, up. We haven't been in the classroom for a while. The classroom, for those who are just kind of joining us in this for the first time hearing these messages, is this huge place in space. It goes on and on and on. But no matter how far away you sit from the instructor or the teacher, you hear them and you see them just fine. You could be seated miles away, but you can actually still see the teacher or instructor and hear them just as clear as a bell. The instructor seems to have some kind of flip chart they're working with this morning. What he's talking about is the duality of self, and this is a little bit different than what we generally talk about in Course in Miracles. The duality of self, according to what he's saying, and there's a woman standing next to him too, so maybe there's two instructors this morning, is that part of us is in this spiritual place, this classroom, actually all the time, and the rest of us, which is also us, this is also our body, is located here in the physical body. So we are actually in both places at the same time. We're in our astral body in the classroom, and we're in our physical body, and the instruction really goes on and on and on. There really is no degree, no graduation degree, no certificate. They're laughing. There is no degree that you get because you're never really done. It just goes on and on and on. And we're constantly in this awareness of learning, at least in the astral body we are. And as far as our own physical body, our awareness of what's happening is, for most people, a very slim window indeed. They really don't know, the rest of the people, what's going on. It's all truly happening all at the same time, and even that little concept is really hard for most folks to grasp. There seems to be a generalization of thought that when one passes over, one will often go to more classes and whatnot while they're in heaven, in the spirit world. And while this essentially is true, what is also true is that we're always in classes. We always are in discussion groups. It really doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be in this huge lecture room that I often find myself in, but there's also smaller discussion groups, work groups. So this is ongoing, and it's most of the time. What they are talking about earlier this morning during meditation is how all of this is accessible anytime. What really actually learning, what our astral body is learning, it's not lost on us. It's accessible, and it's out there constantly. During our Course in Miracles course, our class, we have discussed this possibility of cycling of information that goes round and round like this huge band around the earth. You could picture that. What I see is almost looks like a molecule type picture, and the Earth is right in the center, and there's these big bands that go around the Earth, and that's actually information bands. And they're available and accessible at any time. And that's why you often see several inventors and inventions of the same thing usually happening very, very close together, because one or more of these astral bodies have accessed within the physical body, they've accessed this information. That's why during 4 points of the globe, all of a sudden 4 inventors will come up with the same thing at the same time, because they've all accessed this information. What they are talking about this morning, because I'm hearing them say, okay, tell them how this all applies to them. It applies to you because there is no problem that you can go up against that there isn't help for. There's no situation that you could go up against, the illusion of going up against it, that there isn't help and assistance for in the astral realm. It's all there. The class work continues at all times. The library is always accessible, and that's a story for another day, how big this library is. The teachers are infinitely accessible, and there's an infinite number of teachers. So whether you're laying a sidewalk, or you're sewing a button, or whether it is what you're doing that you're feeling challenged by, the information and the help is there at all times and is infinitely accessible. What the flip chart shows here, I usually describe this as bands of knowledge, but what the flip chart fellow or teacher is making it more like a cloud that circles the earth. Whatever vision works for you, it's really all the same energy. But his flip chart, it looks like a big cloud of information that circles the earth. Why does this apply to you? It applies to you because every human being on this earth has at all times challenges. Some have more than others, but all will have an increasing amount of challenges coming up in the very near future. Why this is important to you is that you're not stuck here alone. You're not stuck here without any help available. It's like you have this cell phone in your head, and you can just dial up the help and ask to speak to a teacher, ask to speak to an instructor, ask for the information that you need. Whether it's an internal GPS system and you need to go someplace, it really makes no difference what it is. It doesn't matter if you're planting a turnip. It doesn't matter if you're painting a fence. Whatever you need help with, ask, and that help will be given to you. More and more and more, this is going to be important for people to understand and to recognize. But this is available information, and it's all there. By the way, they are including, on the flip chart, there's also medical information. They're including that out there too. So you can ask for healers to come in when you're not feeling well. You can ask for advice on the healers, on the spiritual side, to give you alternate suggestions and ideas. If you have one thing locked in your mind and you're stuck in it, but you're not willing to look at anything else, this probably won't help you. But if you're searching for, I don't like this condition, I don't want this condition in my body anymore, I need some help with this, then ask for the healers to come in. Ask for specialty healers to come in on a particular condition. The final step is that you're accessing this information, whether it's a cloud of energy or if you perceive it as a band of energy. The energy is quite accessible in through other people's astral bodies into their physical bodies. In other words, the right person might come to you with a little piece of information that you need. So be aware and open to this. Once you've opened the door and asked for help, that help is going to come in a variety of ways. And that includes a physical, living, breathing person suddenly coming up to you and giving you this little piece of information that you actually need. So be open and aware to that. Have a great day.